everyone. Welcome to the 971 podcast, to our second episode. I'm here with my co-host Sayed, and today we have a guest, Mohammad Iyad. So, Mohammad, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Mohammad Iyad. Everyone calls me Iyad. That's just because like the Arab world is full of Mohammad, so just people just call me Iyad. So don't be like surprised if they just call me out of nowhere. Where am I from? That's a very complicated story, but just to like the summary of it, I'm Emirati Palestinian, and I try my best to show both parts of my like ethnicity, as you can say.
Nice to meet you, Iyad. Thank you for coming to our show. So we have a couple of questions for you. Would you like to just talk about your journey until medical school and just talk about your hobbies and interests? What do you do in your free time?
Honestly, my free time is just something I really like is like watching TV shows and movies. It's just nice to like go outside of this world and try to look at fictional stories and fantasies and just explore ideas and stuff. And even there are some stuff that are like based on real life. That's also nice to see the world in someone else's perspective. So Netflix is my hobby, but I also really like baking a lot. I'm not very good at it and I don't do it a lot, but I do like baking, and usually I bake like simple stuff like cakes and simple stuff. I never do cookies. Cookies are very tricky to do.
What flavor? Baking,
So,
like, is there a specific flavor?
usually I do like lemon or banana. I like these classical simple stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
And what about Netflix? What do you watch on Netflix? If
So
you don't mind us asking.
Any favorite shows you have?
Currently, favorite shows. Obviously, Friends is my all-time favorite show.
Yeah.
It's just
Of course.
it's like everything. It's funny. And it's also so real. Like we always just watch Friends and we just laugh, but it actually has a lot of ideas and like has a lot of concepts in it. Like
That you relate to, right?
yeah, and no one like notices how much Rachel changed in the show. Like she started as this like lost girl, and she doesn't know how to do her laundry even. Like
Is
that
that
was
Jennifer Aniston?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
Jennifer.
yeah.
Okay.
That's Jennifer Aniston.
She can't even do her own laundry, but then in the end she's been
Learns how
through
to
so
do her
much.
laundry.
And she became like she's actually like a really good mother, and she learned so much. She became independent. She has her own job, etc. So it just shows you what life is like out there and how
There's
like
a lot of character development.
Wait, is she the main character of the show, or like is everyone on the same level, or is she the main character? Because I thought like there are 6 or 7 people, and all of them get the same screen time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
they-
of them do actually. They're all
all of
equally
them.
Oh,
important.
okay,
yeah.
okay. But
Yeah.
she's your
I-
favorite character.
Phoebe, obviously.
Okay, okay.
I love Phoebe. I love her like randomness and her innocence and how she's just like there to have fun, and she's just like always there for her friends. It's just so cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Khan, what about you? Who's your
My favorite character? I feel like it should be Chandler. Chandler and Joey.
Can you
Those
tell me
are two
his
people.
actual name, like his real life name? Because I don't know their.
So Chandler is Matthew
okay.
Perry and Joey is Matley Blanc.
Okay. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. That's very cool. They
But
had
Chandler's
another
like the
episode. They had another episode coming out, I think, this year,
Yeah,
but it got
postponed.
delayed, right?
Yeah, because of the coronavirus.
Ah, yeah. Khan, you were saying something. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, Chandler's like the funny guy of the show, and Matt LeBlanc, or Joey, his
Yeah.
character, he's the charming and the really.
Charismatic
He's
guy.
kind of naive in a way, but he gives off that boyish personality that every guy has
Honest.
deep down, and
Yeah,
he's a
honestly,
very
I-
honest guy.
Yeah. Honestly, out of all of them, Joey is the most. He's always there for his friends.
He's very genuine. He's very pure, you know.
So if
So that's
someone
what I
wants to
really like
start-
about him.
Yeah, if I want to start watching Friends, do I start from season 1, or can I just skip to the last season or somewhere in
You
between?
need to start from the beginning, obviously.
I think you start from the beginning, and all
Yeah.
the seasons are equally nice. So it's not
Yeah.
like it gets better or it gets worse. It's just good, all of them.
They're really good, yeah.
And how
It
many
takes a bit
seasons
of
are?
time to get used to the humor. That's with like any sitcom, but it's a worth
It's
it's
a
a
worth
worth watch. Yeah.
How
And I
many
feel like
seasons?
It's 10 seasons. What I like about it, it has the perfect balance of story and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like other shows, they're just laughing all the time, and some other sitcoms, it's just too much drama. But this one has like the perfect balance of like, okay, there
Exactly.
is drama going on, but you also laugh a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Because sometimes there's no plot, and you're like, "Why am I
Yeah.
watching this?"
It's
Yeah.
It's
just like,
funny, but like, I
yeah,
mean,
there's
anything
not.
can be funny, but there's no plot.
Yeah.
But Iyad, how about your favorite dishes? We were talking before the show that you have to eat dinner. So
Oh,
can you share with us your
um,
favorite dish
actually, my favorite
or
dish would
cuisine? Start with cuisine.
cuisine. I have to go with like, okay, like Arabic is a very big
Yeah,
cuisine,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you can't just say
Yeah.
Arabic.
Very broad.
Like, but like my favorite dish, I would say is ورق.
Oh,
It's like it actually has a lot of names. Like some people call it dolma, some people call it like
It's vine
different.
leaves, yeah.
It's the vine leaves. Yeah, in English
yeah,
it's
with
Yeah.
rice inside.
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. It's just
Yeah,
like if you didn't try it, you have to. But like it's definitely my favorite. Like without even thinking. Like it's
yeah.
just
Oh,
and people do it in different styles, but like all styles are nice. Like I don't mind what kind it is as long as it's that.
yeah, yeah. I actually like vine leaves. We have it in Iran as well, but the it's mostly homemade. The ones I used to eat, and I like the leaf more than the actual rice inside it.
Oh,
So I
Yeah.
used to just eat the leaves without putting anything,
oh,
but that doesn't
Oh,
count as
that's
dolma. That doesn't count as. But how about other than Arabic cuisine? Any other international?
I really like Mexican food. Like I
yeah.
love
Taco Bell?
tacos so much. I love tacos so
Tacos.
much. Yeah.
I love guacamole, but not tacos.
I
Guacamole is Mexican?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's
Um,
your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine? I think that's a very difficult question. I think it all depends on my mood. A lot of it,
yeah.
like what I'm craving at the moment. So
What are you craving
Arabic,
now?
yeah. Right now, right now I'm actually craving PF Chang's. Their dynamite shrimp.
Oh yeah.
You're
I haven't
always
had that in a long time. Yes, that's one thing I would have anytime, hands down.
yeah.
Same.
But yeah.
So Iyad, can you talk about your journey up at the med school and how you started with your decision?
Yeah, what made you choose medicine? I know this is such a cliche question, but like what made you choose
My
this
answer is
career?
also a cliche answer. Honestly, I did medicine because I was so interested in biology and like how life works and like because the human body is the perfect machine. And I was
Definitely.
really interested, like whenever we would discuss in class in biology, like how the human body works, it was just very like interesting and fascinating, and I kept wanting to know more. So I felt like medicine is for me.
Yeah.
The only issue was that it's just too much time and effort. And I was hesitant in senior year. I didn't know if I should do it. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know what happened. I was just like, you know what? Let's just like if I don't do it, I'll never know. But if I do it,
Yeah.
at least I know. You know. So I was just like, I'll just go for it, I guess.
Are you glad you chose it?
I feel, I
I
feel
think
like
Iyad still has
honestly,
3 years to answer that question.
yeah, exactly. I feel like I
Yeah.
cannot answer the question right now because I'm still in medical school.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm done, maybe in the future, I would be able to answer. But honestly, there are moments in my like career in medical school where I go like, okay, alhamdulillah, I chose this because this is really nice, really amazing. And those moments are moments where I see patients getting better
Yeah.
Definitely.
and patients thanking you. And I feel like, wow, like knowledge is power. Like knowing all of these things means that you have the power to like heal people. And that's just
100%.
it feels so good. And
You're
it's
making a
just
difference
different.
in the community.
Yeah, exactly. So there are times where I'm like, okay, but there are times also where I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I did this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just with everything. Like not
It's
nothing is
part of
perfect.
life, yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
part of
all
life.
burn out sometimes, but as long as you remember what your end goal
Yeah,
is, I
that's
think
true.
you're good to go. Yeah.
So yeah, we're in our fourth year right now, and we've done I think 3 or 4 rotations up until
Mhm.
now. Which one has been your favorite and why?
So I did everything except for surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have surgery next, and so far, honestly, I think I like internal medicine. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are going to be shocked when I say that because I used to complain all the time about it, My life was hell when I was in internal medicine, but when I left it, I was like, okay, that was really nice. I would like to do that because the other ones were nice too, but you know when that feeling where you're like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Like with Pete's, I like kids so much, but dealing with parents is a big challenge, and I feel like I don't want to deal with parents every single day of my life, you know?
Yeah.
Psychiatry is very nice, but I feel like I want something that's more like, you know, like labs and like X-ray and like do this, do that. So I feel like internal medicine is really interesting, really nice. But even saying that internal medicine is like nice, internal medicine within itself has a lot of like
Subspecialties.
exactly. So even knowing that I do want internal medicine, it just means that like that's another like, you know, another choices, like choices within choices. So it's a very complicated process, and I feel like as we go, we're gonna figure things out hopefully.
Yeah.
So Iyad, can you tell us how what being Emirati means to you, and how you basically, if you want to, for example, advertise to someone who's living outside this region, and you want to tell them like come to the UAE and tell them about the benefits here, how would you advertise? Or just no need to just tell us the truth, and you know.
Yeah.
Okay, honestly, I'm really happy and proud and blessed to be part of this country. It's there's a lot of opportunities all the time. There's a lot of things you can do, and if I want to advertise, honestly, like it is a really nice place to visit. And when I actually travel and meet people outside, I do always be like, come Dubai, it's really nice. There's a lot of things to see, like Burj Khalifa. It's not just Burj Khalifa, but Burj Khalifa is one of the big things. But like, there's also a lot of things, like, especially in the winter, like we forget all of the beaches that we have here. We forget all of the because people visit in summer, but if people actually visit in winter, there's a lot of places you can go. Like Global Village is one of the biggest like things people can go to. Lemire, D3. There's a lot of really, really pretty places in Dubai. That we
So, and Global Village is this place where there's a part of every single country or ethnicity, and they have things ranging from the Eiffel Tower to Burj Khalifa itself. And
there's food, there's clothes.
Yeah, almost every country, and
Yeah.
food, clothes, furniture. I don't know, like
People go
shopping
there
of
to
clothes.
eat. So just go on an empty stomach and just have small things from every other place, and it's a really, really nice experience. And then you see your country, you feel represented, and
Definitely.
yeah. And usually I go with a group of friends, so we're all from different places, so we all want to show each other our cultures, and it's a really nice experience.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to my parents the other day, and we actually, I was telling them that the best place in the world to get quarantined right now is Dubai, because we have the perfect weather right now. I mean, you're living in probably one of the best cities in the world, and there's access to almost everything. But I just hope this thing gets over soon, and we can go back to our normal life. So Khan, would you like to add anything, ask Iyad any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Iyad, so have you actually, what are your future plans? Have you done tajneed before? I understand like tajneed or like military services like part of a requirement. So have you done that before?
Yeah, there's this choice that like if you get a 90% or above in high school, and that they changed that, but in my time it was if you get 90 or higher, you can do it after university. So that's what I chose to do. So I'm planning to hopefully graduate medical school. Then after that, I would go to, I'm not sure if I should do tajneed before or after residency. And I'm not sure if I have that choice yet, but I feel like I want to go to residency with fresh medical information.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet, I didn't decide yet, but I'm going to have to do it one point at a time. I'm not going to lie, it's a very like, it's scary to think about, but it's just one of those like challenges, one of those things that you have to go through. And a part of me is really keen to go there because I want to give back to this country. I want to like help. I want to do what I can in my part at least. And I feel like I'm gonna come out as a new person. So I'm so excited to meet
it's a new experience.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so excited to like know what changes I'm gonna like, because people always say, you know, you change and everything. So I'm like, okay, I want to see how can I change and how can I adapt. So it's a very exciting part of my life. And then I have residency. I have no idea what I want to do for residency yet, so it's just like open. But I think I'll just figure it out as I go because I still didn't try like surgery. I still didn't try a lot of other specialties that we're gonna do, hopefully in year 5.
Yeah.
Wow,
Just to
that sounds.
clarify for people who don't know, Tajneed is the UAE military service, and I think it's around 2 years, right? 1 year, 2 years?
It's 1 to
One.
2 years.
One to
It's
two
Yes.
years,
not
yeah.
sure, but it's
Yeah.
somewhere
But
between somewhere like that.
about
So
residency programs, yeah, Khan, go ahead.
yeah. So are you like excited for the whole experience? Are you looking forward to it?
It's a mix of like I'm scared and I'm also
Hmm.
excited.
Yeah.
Um, because it's a lot of uncertainty and I don't know what's gonna happen and I'm gonna be in a new environment. It's like first day of school, you know? Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
be with a new bunch of people. I don't know anyone there. So it's that part of me, but another part of me is like I wanna go because like, you know, this is what the real world is. Like we're sitting at home and stuff, but the real world out there, like people are like, you know. So you need to
Hmm.
see every aspect of world. Like we can't just live in a bubble because we kind of all are sometimes living in a bubble. We don't see what the outward world. So when we go there, I feel like you realize that okay, like you know, not everyone has it easy. Not everyone just like can
Yeah.
do whatever they want anytime. Like life is not easy, and then you start to appreciate like what you have.
That's
That's
very right.
very well said. So yeah, I just wanted to ask, is there something that you really want to talk about, or something you're really passionate about, something that forms a big part of your values,
I
or
feel like something I always preach about and something I always try to get across, especially to this generation, is the idea of toxic masculinity. And
yeah.
a lot of people hate that word so much
Hmm.
because it's always said on the media. But call it whatever you want. If you hate that word, you can call it something else. The first thing before I say it, I just want to say that masculinity is not all toxic. So when someone says toxic masculinity, I'm not saying that all masculinity is toxic. Masculinity can be good, but it can also be bad sometimes. So there are a lot of like people who are masculine, but it's not toxic at all. That's the first point I want to mention. Second
Hmm.
point is that what is toxic masculinity? So it's a simple example would be going to a child, seeing them cry, a boy, and just going like, oh, like stop crying, man up, or boys don't cry, or these things. Now, when you're gonna go and tell that person that you can't say that, they're just gonna say something like, oh, I'm just like, you know, motivating him or pushing him. Like I don't actually mean it. But when the kid keeps hearing that over and over again, there's going to be a point in his life where he is going to need to cry and he won't do it because everyone is telling him that you should man up or whatever.
Because of
And
society.
yeah, exactly. And that's just going to affect his mental health. And I feel like we just need to get across to all young boys and even young men that it's okay to show emotions, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be vulnerable, and that you don't always have to be tough and you can be masculine and like you know cry. You like it's not a rule and like it's fine. It's just be yourself, as long as just be yourself and don't follow rules and just take care of your health and your mental health, and
Hmm.
always show what you feel. And there are people who are going to be vulnerable around. That's just part of being human.
I
Wow.
definitely agree
That
with
that
you, yeah.
is yeah.
But there's also one other side to it. I think it's different for every age bracket that
That
we
is
put this
100%
into.
that is
And I think definitely what you're saying is right for probably males below the age of 35 or 30, or maybe someone who just doesn't have a child. Because I
yeah.
feel when you become a father, for example, that's when you probably need to start
That's true.
not completely masking, but sort of showing your child that no matter what will happen, that they will be safe.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you guys agree, but it would be much like easier for the child to get through struggles if they see their father and mother reacting to tough situations in a very calm manner. Khan, what
That's
do you think?
I feel like that doesn't apply to any specific gender. That applies in general as
Yeah,
parents.
general, yeah.
Yes. So when you're parents, you need to, of course, show your kids that you're strong. You're there for them,
Definitely.
and every child wants to be, felt safe.
Yeah.
and that's just part of being a parent.
Yeah, so
But
I don't think
about
that's gender related.
yes,
So yeah, you're
100%.
definitely right.
About what you said, Iyad, I feel like that's a very important issue that you mentioned, and that's something that unfortunately even today our society, a lot of men, a lot of people, in fact, it doesn't only apply to men, even a lot of females, they believe that men should not, be that emotional. And that's really sad because just because you're vulnerable, just because you're showing emotion does not make you weak. There's a difference between showing emotions and being weak. And if you
Yes.
show emotions, if you cry, that does not make you weak or less of a man in any way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that a lot of the men of today should understand.
Yeah.
And crying is okay. It's okay to feel vulnerable to the right people.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% true. I agree. And it can go to something simple, like, for example, like, let's say that like a guy wants to wear a pink shirt. Like, there's gonna be a lot of stigma over that. But if you actually break it down and think about it, it's just a color. Like, it doesn't
Exactly.
change anything. Like, who decided that pink is like, and
Feminine
like,
or
it's just
masculine. Yeah.
exactly. So it's just like there are these simple things, and then there's like big things.
Hmm.
It really affects everything in a big manner, and like we just need to like preach it to like young boys and young men
Mm.
even, and try to like create more awareness, I guess.
Yeah. So
Go ahead,
are
Khalid.
there any questions you want to ask?
Um, so, Iyad, I don't know if we would have enough time for this, but would you like sharing any of your favorite tweets? Because we know that you're active on Twitter. And
My Twitter is a mess.
no, honestly, I
I
love
love it. Honestly,
reading.
I'm one of
Yeah, and
yeah.
you make my day every day. So please go ahead if you have any
um,
favorite tweets.
okay, I think this one's funny. The only person who got their shit together this year is Corona. The thing is, a lot of people were like, "Oh, خلاص, this is my year. I'm gonna like, and I'm just like, you know what? No, Corona is working. We are not.
Yeah.
We're all
Man,
at home
there's
right
another
now."
one that's last year the only bad thing was the Game of Thrones season
Oh yeah,
finale or something.
Season 8, yeah. Oh my
I
Or
gosh.
actually
like
liked
one
that.
of my
Yeah,
friends,
actually.
which one?
I actually liked it, but I still retweet it because it's funny.
Yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I heard all the fuss about the last episode being terrible.
Yeah.
But there was another one saying that um, so the director of Game of Thrones apparently directed 2020, and then someone commented saying that the the final of the final episode of Game of Thrones was actually
Worse, yeah.
worse. Yeah, it was worse. Yeah.
It
It's
was
like
terrible.
2020 is still better than
Yeah,
season
and look
8.
at the things that we've gone through in 2020. So that
Wow.
was quite funny.
Yeah.
Anything
It's
else
just
that you guys
smart.
want to share?
It's
But
just
like
smart.
speaking of Corona, yet how have you been dealing with this whole self quarantine at home? How do you keep yourself distracted?
So honestly, it's siblings. I'm always with my siblings all the time. I've never spent so much time with them since childhood because we've all been busy with our own lives, and now we're always
Yeah.
sitting together. We're always like eating together, and we keep fighting every 5 minutes. So honestly, I'm always busy with them.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'm either Netflixing or like, is that a word, Netflixing? Either I'm like on Netflix or like chatting with my friends, social media, or like trying to like get something, some work done or something. But yeah, most of the time it's just me and my siblings. Um,
Any
yeah.
inspirations that you have, Iyad? Role models?
If I like to think of someone that I look up to, honestly, it's a fictional character,
Yeah.
Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones. I'm not
Mm.
sure if you know her, but
Yeah.
I really like her because she went from this stupid girl who knows nothing about what's going on in the world, and she's so naive and she's so dependent on everyone. And throughout the show, she's been through so much, but she used all of that to grow as a person and to become
Hmm.
an. She literally became a queen by the end of the show.
Is that
Yeah.
And yeah, and
Emilia
one of
Clarke?
No, no.
Sophie Turner?
Yeah,
Sophie
Sophie
Turner,
Turner.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
And actually, one of my favorite lines is when she goes like, "I'm a slow learner, it's true, but I learn." And I really like when she said that, because she's just saying this is not a race. You don't have to reach, you don't have to be first place. As long as you keep running, as long as you keep going, then you're good to go. And that's what she kept doing in the show. Like, people were always stronger than her. She was always weak. She was always vulnerable, but she was still learning. She was still developing as a person. And then in the end of the show, literally everyone died, but she became the queen. So I just like that, and I just appreciate her strength. And I loved how she matured during the show, and how she became her own person, independent. And even though she lost everything and everyone, she still never stopped fighting.
Yeah.
That
Definitely, I
really
agree.
inspires me. Yeah.
Something that actually complements what she said is I don't know if you guys have listened to any of Mike Tyson's podcasts, but he started his own podcast, and his interview with Eminem, he talks about how every single person peaks at a certain stage in their life. So someone can peak at early childhood, someone can peak in their 60s, some people 30s or 40s. So honestly, it's not a race. And I hope that we didn't reach our peak yet, and we still
That's not
have
my
lots to look
doesn't
forward
look
to.
like
Yeah.
a peak.
Yeah.
So Khan, you want to ask anything?
No, I guess we're done. It was lovely having you, Iyad. I'm so
Thank you
glad
so
we
much,
had this.
Iyad.
Thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
It was a
Thank you very
great
And
much
pleasure.
for inviting
yeah,
me. It was really
of
nice.
course. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I think that's it. I had everything to say. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Hope to have you on again, Iyad.
Yes,
Thank you,
definitely.
guys.
Inshallah.
Thank
Thank
you
you
guys so
so
Thank
much.
much.
you. All the best.
Till next
Thanks.
time.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.